Hello everyone, welcome back to Interview Buddies. In today's video, we are going to talk about pgdumpall. Pgdumpall is a PostgreSQL utility. It is used for writing out or dumping all PostgreSQL databases of a cluster into one file. So we have seen pg backup and pg restore. There we have option to select the database and take a backup of that. But with the pgdumpall, we can do all the databases. We can dump all the databases into single file. And this script file contains SQL commands that you can use to restore the database. So how it does is it calls pgdump for each database in the cluster. And pgdumpall also dumps global objects that are common to all the databases, namely database roles, table spaces, etc. Needs a SQL script file. Basically, if you want to write the output to the file or write the dump to a file, you can provide the option of -f. If you don't provide it, it just dumps everything to the standard output. So let's see how it works. I have these many databases, web app, Postgres, etc., etc. And if I do pg dump all, and if I run just this command, it will give a long list of basically a very long output on my screen. It will print that. So as you can see it, right, we have so many records, so many databases, everything is getting generated here. All right, so if we want to avoid that, we can do -f pgdump backup. Okay, we can do that. And yes, so let's read this file. Okay, so you can see here's a cluster dump and it says databases, connect to database template 1, and we have similar many connect statements here. Basically template 1, Postgres, right? Restored, target DB, web app. So all the databases are here. So even if I drop all these databases from my current cluster and try to restore it using this backup.sql or pgdump file, I can do that. The other option is if you want to only dump the data, then you can use data only, and it will just dump the data and doesn't dump the data definition. Again, same thing, pgdump, pgdumpall -f data only, data.sql, and we'll provide the option as data only. Okay, so now let's see, data.sql is 40 MB file. It's a small file, but we have all this data here. We have different options. You can also dump schema only, it will dump only the database definitions, DDLs, and not the data. So that's another option, and you will just use this command which says schema only, and let's change it. Okay, so you have schema.sql, and you can see the file is pretty small. Now pgdumpall needs to connect to the database several times. So what it means that does by calling pgdump on each database in the cluster, right? So if you are calling pgdumpall, it connects to each database once per database, right, in your server, and run pgdump on it. If you are using password authentication, it will ask for password each time. So that's how pgdumpall works. So you can restore one database. So for one database, you can run this command, which I have written here. It says that psql -x, and then basically your dump file and database name, and I can say new DB or something like that, and then you can restore it here. So it will restore that particular database from your pgdumpall file. So one other important parameter that you can define here is clean, basically. So how clean works, let's talk about it for a minute. What clean does is, so it gives a SQL command to drop all the dump databases before recreating them. So it says that drop database Postgres, and then it gives you recreation commands. So pgdump all everything, and then we'll say clean. Okay. And here, okay, it rewrote our script file, but here you can say you will see a drop database. So let's search here. Okay, so here it is. So you hear it saying drop database, basically drop database commands, and then we have all the create commands. So that's how your clean command works. Okay, so that's all for today. Hope you like this video. Don't forget to hit subscribe button. Thank you very much.